your father, he was my son. He was my sweet baby son, and I miss him so much. So much. I wanted to scream. So you know what I did? I screamed.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to hear it?
Sure. I have neighbors.
You were the one who wanted to do this intro.
No! My neighbors are gonna...
You're gonna get a wellness call.
I'm gonna get kicked out of this building for sure.
You knew what was coming.
Yeah, but most of the time I come first, so it was like really out of the blue.
Jesus. Happy
February. Welcome back to Crips and Corks Uncorked. Whatever episode this is, because I don't keep track of that shit.
You want to finish the intro?
Sure! I'm your co-host, Paul, and I'm here as usual. Now.
I thought you were going to go, I'm your host, Paul, here with my co-host, DJ, as usual.
I didn't, though.
Fuck you. How's your February going so far?
It's going fine. We're here. We're still sober filming this because February has not started, and that's why there's not alcohol in this Uncorked. So...
What are we drinking?
We are actually drinking another mocktail. We are actually drinking the Cherry Bomb mocktail, which is lemon lime soda, grenadine, and something else.
Simple syrup?
No, I didn't put any simple syrup in it. Oh, cherries. I put cherries in
cherries.
it.
Okay.
Girl, I made this 5 minutes ago. You'd think I'd remember that shit.
Well, a lot happened in that 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I broke a lamp.
Yes.
I broke a lamp.
But it's okay.
Because you broke one before I did.
And honestly, if you're curious about the recipe, just Google Cherry Bomb mocktail. It's mainly it's what I just said. So let's give it a try. Cheers.
Cheers. That's delightful.
That is very good.
That's a grenadine.
Sorry, I probably put too much grenadine.
It's okay.
And I also put lime juice. So lime juice
juice
is what I forgot. You put lime juice in here. It's really good. But today, we are talking about one of the internet's greatest tools of the
Before that. It is February, and as it is February, it's time to announce the organization that we're going to be shouting out for the rest of the month.
Yes.
So it's February, it's Valentine's Day, a time of romance and love, and Paul and I don't have that in our lives. Instead, we are stuck single together doing this podcast for better or worse. But more importantly than Valentine's Day, February. You okay?
Yeah.
You need a tissue?
No, I'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Just cry into the pillow, hold it really tight, and if you pass out, I'll finish the job for you.
Thank you.
Anyways, more importantly than Valentine's Day, February is National Domestic Abuse Awareness Month. And so all this month, we're actually going to be shouting out charities that go towards helping provide resources for people who are stuck in domestic violence situations, helping them get out of them and start new lives and get away from their abusers, as well as raising awareness for domestic abuse because it doesn't always look like you think it will look like.
Exactly. So what organization are we shouting out?
It is the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, the NCAVD, and you can find them at ncavd.org.
Period. So go check them out, go donate, it's a great cause, and we'll be shouting them out all month.
And now you can talk about one of the internet's greatest creations.
That's right, kids. We're talking about ChatGPT. And not only ChatGPT, we are asking ChatGPT to write 2 stories for us. Now, our last episode was about sexy vampires, so we thought we'd ask ChatGPT to write a good old sexy vampire story for us. So
Well, the actual prompt was, can you write a romantic vampire love story? I forgot to add sex in there.
That's fine. Maybe we'll get monetized for once.
But these are fully written out stories, so this episode might be longer than some of our other Uncorked.
Exactly, and that's how ChatGPT works. You type in what you want, and it gives it to you. Okay, so you just type that in, and here's the story.
And Paul was very disappointed as he watched all the words come across the screen, and he was like, "Can you tell them to write a shorter story?"
This is a long-ass story. Wait and see.
But I'm not paying for it, and I only get so many questions.
That's tea.
So this is titled Midnight Whispers. In the heart of a misty, moonlit forest where shadows danced with the flickering light of fireflies, a hidden castle stood, its spires piercing the sky like needlepoints. This was the lair of Lysander, a centuries-old vampire who roamed the earth in search of solace and a single true love. One fateful evening, as the silvery moon bathed the world in ethereal light, a young artist named Alara, I am already out of it because this is straight.
Yeah, I like the name Alara. And it's very much giving...
I should have said...
The language is so flowery.
Yes.
It's giving not even 1900s, 1800s novel. Basically,
I should have said sexy, romantic, gay vampire story.
That's going to be used for later, if you know what I'm saying.
I think I get one more free question for after.
Period. Oh! Charlie Puth. I'm coming for you, Charlie.
Ventured in the forest, drawn by the beauty of the night, she was searching for inspiration for her next painting, a piece that would capture the essence of love and longing. As she wandered deeper among the ancient trees, Alara stumbled upon the castle. Curiosity overwhelmed her, and she ventured closer. The air shimmered with a strange energy, and the door creaked open as if inviting her in. Inside, the walls whispered stories of time, and as she explored, she felt an unexplainable connection to the place.
It's just Cher. She came in and was like, if you could turn back time. And also...
It's me, Cher, bitch. I haunt this castle. Have you seen Sunny?
Whoa! This is the story of Beauty and the Beast also.
Wait, it gets better. Lysander, intrigued by the light that emanated from her spirit, watched her from the shadows. Her laughter, soft like a lullaby, echoed through the halls. He had not felt such warmth in centuries, and he stepped forward, revealing himself to her. I had a flasher do that to me in the park once.
Okay, that was a rough time in my life, and I only did that like 3 times.
Alara gasped, her heart racing as she beheld the striking figure before her. Lysander's pale skin contrasted with his dark hair, and his eyes glimmered with an intense depth. Who are you? She breathed, both fascinated and afraid. I am Lysander, he said, his voice a mix of sadness and allure, a keeper of secrets and dreams long lost.
Bitch, is he a vampire or a fucking, time... what is going on?
He's a keeper of secrets and dreams long lost. It says right there in the plot, Paul.
Okay.
The connection between them sparked like wildfire. Days turned into nights as they shared tales of love and art, dreams and despair. But as their hearts intertwined, a shadow loomed. Lysander knew that their love could never be, bound as he was by the curse of his nature. One night, under a veil of stars, they shared their first kiss, a slow dance of taste and tension.
We know what he was tasting, honey.
Alara felt the warmth of his touch while Lysander battled with the desire to let her into his world, knowing the danger it posed. Why must we hide in shadows? Alara asked, her eyes searching his. Because my love can bring you nothing but sorrow, he replied, pain etched across his face. Determined, she took his hand. I choose you, Lysander. Together, we can defy the darkness.
It's time to try defy.
With a poignant resolve, Lysander surrendered to the joy Alara brought into his eternal night. They raced through the enchanted forest, laughter ringing like music as they danced beneath the moonlight. But the vampire world was not forgiving. A rival, a vampire elder who sought to claim Lysander's power, learned of their bond and pledged to end it. As the elder approached, she doesn't even have a name! As the elder approached, a fierce storm brewed, reflecting the turmoil of their hearts. Alara stood bravely before Lysander, ready to face whatever awaited them. "We will fight for our love," she declared. In the heart of the storm, an epic battle ensued. As shadows clashed against the light, Alara and Lysander fought side by side, their love igniting a power neither had ever known. With a final surge of strength, they defeated the elder, casting him into the void from whence he came.
Yeah.
Breathless, they fell into each other's arms, knowing they had triumphed against all odds. From that day forward, the forest echoed with their laughter, and the castle thrummed with life. Together, Alara and Lysander discovered a love that transcended time, crafting a destiny intertwined in passion, artistry, and the whispered promise of forever. The end.
Do you know what this is giving? 15-year-old girl.
It was very that.
15-year-old girl on Wattpad who found a thesaurus so she could look up a bunch of flowery language.
It was
and big
very
words.
giving.
And it's giving like a mixture of Dracula and Twilight.
It was like Dracula, Twilight, Game of Thrones.
And Beauty and the Beast too.
Beauty.
She finds the castle, she goes in and falls in love with the beast.
What I want to know is, did Lysander ever change Alara? I kind of want to use the free question to ask.
Ooh, girl. Okay. Let me read my story, and then we can ask ChatGPT if they turned. Now, this next story, the prompt was we asked ChatGPT to write a story about Paul and DJ from Crips and Corks podcast. And this was mainly because we were curious, do they even know who we are? Because Lord knows, we have 10 views right now.
Don't tell them. Can I see you over here?
Yeah.
They don't need to know this, Paul.
But apparently ChatGPT does know who we are, and they were able to write a story about this.
Yeah, from the first sentence, I saw wine and horror paraphernalia, and I went, it knows.
So, this story is titled Echoes of the Past.
I'm so scared.
In a small, dimly lit studio. Our studio is not small, and it's not dimly lit, bitch. First of all, getting red, adorned with bottles of wine and horror memorabilia, DJ and Paul were preparing for another episode of the Crips and Corks podcast. Their lively banter filled the space, creating an atmosphere that blended humor with the eerie tales they love to tell.
Not wrong.
Yeah, that's what we do. We do talk a lot before the episode.
We do have a tendency to keep empty bottles for way too long.
Yeah, that's true. So, tonight's episode is going to be legendary, DJ exclaimed, pouring himself a glass of deep red wine. I can't wait to dive into the ghost stories of the old wine country.
Oh, Jesus.
Paul chuckled and adjusted his headphones, which I have not once worn
We don't
headphones.
wear headphones.
And
Chad is making assumptions.
And I'll be serving up the chilling history behind those ghostly legends.
Paul is?
Yep, I am.
Oh, okay.
And
Chad does not know us.
You know, like the tale of the haunted vineyard that produced a wine so good, it drove people mad. As they began recording, the energy surged. Listeners were drawn in by the duo's chemistry and passion. Let me read. Their fascination with both wine and the macabre, evident in every laugh and spine-tingling story. The episode unfolded with tales of ghostly apparitions, cursed vineyards, and strange disappearances, each story drawing them deeper into the haunting world they reveled in. Midway through the episode, DJ took a moment to raise a glass. To the spirits of the past, and the stories they leave behind. Paul joined him, clinking their glasses together. And to our listeners who keep the tales alive. That's you guys.
I kind of like that. Can we steal that?
I guess we can. I don't think it's copywritten. But as they spoke, something odd happened. A chill swept through the studio, and the lights flickered. Unbeknownst to them, their lighthearted discussion on hauntings had summoned an unexpected presence. Lindsay Lohan and... No.
I was about to say, oh my god, it does know us.
Right. An ethereal whisper echoed around them, drawing their attention.
Oh.
DJ paused mid-sentence. Did you hear that? He asked, eyes wide with excitement and a hint of fear. Yeah, it sounded like Paul began, but before he could finish, the studio door cracked open slowly, revealing an old, dusty wine bottle that had not been there before.
Oh my god.
The label bore a name neither recognized. Their curiosity piqued, they turned their microphones towards the mysterious object. Let's explore this, DJ suggested, pulling the bottle towards them. Could it be a haunted vintage? As they inspected the bottle, they began to feel an overwhelming sense of history enveloping the room. Memories of past vintners, lost loves, and tragic events swirled in the air, manifesting into whispers of stories waiting to be told. In an impulsive moment, DJ suggested, what if we taste it? It might just hold the secret of the past. Paul hesitated, but agreed. They carefully uncorked the bottle, and as the wine flowed, the room grew colder. They poured their glasses with hands shaking in anticipation. Here's to uncovering the secrets, DJ declared, raising his glass once more before taking a sip. Paul followed suit, and as they savored the rich flavors, visions of the past flooded their minds. They saw the vineyard bathed in golden sunlight, heard the laughter of lovers, and witnessed the heartache of a long-lost romance. Each gulp revealed more tales hidden in the shadows, connecting them to the spirits of the vineyard. And I know you know about gulping in the shadows, so this is right up your alley.
This is not wine. Somebody laced it with peyote.
It sounds like it. This is interesting.
We're tripping.
Suddenly, the lights flickered again, and the whispers grew louder, almost forming a coherent message. Tell our story, they urged, imbuing the podcast with a new sense of purpose. DJ and Paul exchanged glances, realizing they had stumbled upon something extraordinary. They needed to share these stories to give voice to the echoes of the past that had reached out to them. As they resumed their recording, a new passion ignited within them. They began weaving the experience they had just encountered into their podcast narrative, turning the episode into a captivating tale of haunted love and lost spirits. By the end of the night, they had transformed their podcast into an adventure through history, blending the joys of wine with the mysteries of the supernatural. Their loyal listeners would get more than mere tales this time. They would hear the voices of those who had come before, eager to share their secrets. Little did DJ and Paul know, they had forged a deeper connection with the stories they cherished. The spirit of the vineyard would forever echo through their podcast, reminding them of the thin veil between the living and the lost, and the power of storytelling that can transcend time.
You know, now that I think about it, that is how we started the podcast. Word for word.
What do you mean?
We found a haunted bottle, and that's what inspired us to do the podcast. Don't you remember? In your dimly lit studio.
My dimly lit studio.
That's going on the website as that's how we started the podcast.
We found a haunted bottle of wine and drank it. But little did we know, it was just expired. And we were tripping.
It was laced with peyote.
It was laced...
After the vomiting, the diarrhea, it was a transcendental experience.
And we thought, we're so close to death right now. Why don't we tell more stories of death? And here we are today.
This wasn't so long.
Honestly, I like the story better than the vampire story. I thought this story was a little more interesting.
Yes.
Maybe because it was about me, but I enjoyed that. Now, thoughts. Which story did you like better?
I did like ours better.
Yes.
It surprisingly captured us pretty well.
A little bit. I don't know. It could have been a little more vulgar, I feel like. I'm not sure if ChatGPT is allowed to curse.
I don't know if it is either, and it got some things wrong, but it probably scanned through all of our episodes in seconds and just picked out stuff.
Or just picked like the general concept. I mean, Crips and Corks have jumped right to line, like, makes sense. Now, are we going to ask it if he turned her?
Do we want to ask it if it turned her, or do we want a gay vampire love story to close out on?
Girl, we can't do another story. This is already too long.
Okay. In Midnight Whispers, which you wrote above, did Lysander turn Alara into a vampire before the battle or at all?
Period. Yes, and let's see.
In Midnight Whispers,
Bitch.
I didn't specify that Lysander turned Alara into a vampire at any point in the story. Their love story focuses on their connection and the challenges that they face, particularly the dangers of Lysander's vampire nature in the battle against the Elder. If you'd like, I can expand on that aspect or adjust the story to include her transformation. Let her know. It seems like you exhausted your free limit of chat. Please upgrade your plan to continue chatting.
Damn, ChatGPT literally gave us no... I guess it's a create your own story now, because we're not giving them money.
No, she was not changed. Because it was about the connection that they formed in the moonlight.
Isn't that beautiful? On February, Valentine's Day. Wow. Makes me a little sick.
You know, that's a lot more impressive when there's booze in there.
Yeah. And we're probably going to need a lot more booze in February to get through the month.
But we love you. If you're single on Valentine's Day, you are not alone. You're with us in spirit.
Yes.
We're with you in spirit.
We'll be single together.
Just come on YouTube and watch our live stream from last Valentine's Day as we talked about ghost sex.
Yes. And it's not sad at all to be alone with us. We promise.
Your stomach just growled.
I know, my stomach made a noise. We'll ignore that.
Well, please go to the ncavd.org to help them in their fight against domestic violence. Give where you can. Help your friends if you notice they're in a situation. Because there's a lot more love in this world than romantic love. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and follow wherever you... Well, I guess this is only YouTube. Like, subscribe, and follow...
Down below.
Follow us on all of our social medias. Email us if you have stories or if you want us to do this ChatGPT thing again. And Paul?
Yeah, if you want us to do the ChatGPT thing, we'll throw out a few coins and we'll continue the stories. I kind of liked it. We might have to keep messing with it. And if you want to find me, you can find me at my personal Instagram and TikTok at Paulember, Paulember. And as usual, guys, it's not delivery. It's DiGiorno.
I nearly forgot you were going to say that. And if you'd like to follow me, you can do so on TikTok and on Instagram at TheRealDeejPowers. And I already shouted at the charity. So, we love you. Thank you for everything, guys. Keep your crips tight.
And your corks loose.
Bye!